Hi crocheters of the world, in this tutorial we will work together on this gilet or vest that I created with a stitch, the diamond stitch that I already had did the tutorial some years ago. Anyway, in this tutorial I begin actually with the explanation of the stitch, which can be a little bit difficult if you are really a beginner crochet, but it's so beautiful as you learn it, as you practice it, as you get rid of it. It's really beautiful, it's really nice, but it is worked in two colors, and this option, this gives the option of your fantasy to create color combinations. Now I created I think it's nice, I really love it, color combination with two yarns. Actually it's the same yarn that comes in color changing and solid color, both color changing and solid color, and it's a beautiful yarn that you can find in our boutique. I put a link below if you think and you can and you want to purchase from our boutique. What I want to tell you, it's about the quantity. Now it's really nice, you can put together so many beautiful combinations, changing color or two solid colors, or it's you to decide. I work the part of the shells with the changing color yarn and the part of the double crochet, let's say, so with the solid color, but you can switch. So it's really nice because it gives, as I said before, it gives a large range of for your creativity. It's so nice. I want to show you some combinations, but anyway, on the site, on the boutique, I put some photos of 6 to 8, I don't remember, color combinations that I created for you. Now the first is this one that I really love. Look at it, isn't it just lovely? So delicate. So this is apricot color, blush, apricot blush. So beautiful, so lovely. I think they are just perfect together, and it's so spring, it's so summer. Another one that I really love is this one. And this one too, it's so spring, so summerish, so lovely, joyful colors, full of life, and I really love them together. Or this is more, let's say, this too. It's really lovely color combination, this one too. Just imagine in this pattern stitch, and these are the two that I work with. Now I used, it's a 100 gram, it's a skein of yarn, of this yarn, and I use two. So this is the second, and this is the second, just began a little bit of the contrasting color, because you have, this is the main color, this is contrasting color. So I use, what can I say, about 150 grams of each, let's say, average, okay? Now, if you want to put sleeves, you can by yourself. I just choose to work it like this because I love it like this, but you can if you are a advanced crocheter, because it's not very easy, but it can be if you, as I said, have nice knowledge about crochet. Now in the tutorial, of course, I walk you through all the most important passages, from the explanation of the stitch to the explanation of how to decrease here, how to put the borders, how many stitches you need to put for each, and how to alter, and so in other sizes, and all that you need to create your gilet. I wanted to say that with the same yarn, it's a tutorial that I put, I think 2 weeks ago. I created this one, so another very nice cardigan, very comfortable, very nice. I think it's fancy, nice and fancy. I don't know the name, I don't remember how I called it, but anyway, it's a lovely yarn, really nice to work with. I work with a 3.5mm hook. Okay, I think I've just, in the info box below you have the link of the yarn, and you also have the quantity of yarn that you need for different sizes. And maybe if you want to work the sleeves too, you will need a little bit more, or if you want it longer, because anyway, you can just be inspired and make it nice and long, a long vest. It can be a really beautiful project. So now I just leave it to the tutorial. Now first of all, I will begin with how to crochet the stitch, even if I already have a tutorial on the stitch. I'm explaining only the stitch, but anyway, I just want to explain one more time here in this tutorial of the gilet. Now here I put 7 sequences. The sequence of the multiple is 6 chains plus 1 at the end. So you will put as many sequences as you need for the back side, because the back side is actually the very first part that you will crochet, but I will explain you this later on. Actually, it's the second step. The first step is how to crochet the stitch. We will need 2 rows, 2 rows that we will work now, and then only when we will begin another part we will work them again, and then 4 rows that we will repeat for the length that we need. Let us begin with the setup rows. First setup row is chain 3, yarn over into the 4th chain from the hook, work 2 more double crochets, and now chain 3, yarn over, skip 5 chains, 1 2 3 4 5, into the 6th, work 1 shell of 5 double crochet, 3 4 and 5, and again chain 3, 1 2 3, and work 1 2 3 4 5 into the 6th, work chain 5 double crochet shell. At the end you will chain 3 and you will skip 5 chains. Into the last chain you will work just a 3 double crochets shell as you worked at the beginning. Go ahead and work your very first setup row finished. Let us begin the second. With the second setup row we will introduce our contrasting color, and here I finished the first one. Now I will begin the second exactly where I began the first. So into my 3rd chain of the beginning, chain 3, work a beginning single crochet, and this is worked like this. So I have it like this, and now I need to insert hook into the 3rd chain, pull up a loop, 2 loops on the hook, and this is my single crochet. Now we will work like this: 1 chain, yarn over. Here we have 5 chains. We will skip the very first, we will insert, we have 5 chains, sorry, where it is, yes, 1 and 2. Insert hook into the 2nd, and incorporated the chain 3, work 1 double crochet, chain 1, skip 1 chain, and into the next work exactly the same thing, 1 double crochet. So here it is what I have. So I work over the chain 3, 2, and I work into the chain 5 here. Okay, now over the shell I will chain 2, 1 single crochet into the 3rd double crochet, and chain 2. This is what I will repeat all along. At the end I will chain 1 and single crochet into the last double crochet. So let me show you one more time. Yarn over, skip 1 chain into the next of the 5 work, and over the chain 3 work 1 double crochet, chain 1, skip 1, insert hook into the next, oops, insert hook into the next, and one more double crochet. Okay, over the shell, chain 2 into the third double crochet, work single crochet, chain 2. Go ahead and repeat this to the end. Chain 1 and single crochet into the last into the third double crochet. I finished with chain 1 and single crochet into the last double crochet. Okay, now from here, this was the 2 setup rows. From here, from the next row, we will work 4 rows that we have to repeat. We will alternate the main color with the contrasting color. With the main color we work the shells, with the contrasting color we work the stitches, double crochet, chain, single crochet in between the shells. Okay, so I will turn my work like this and leave the contrasting color on the back side. I will take my main color and let us begin with the very first of the 4 rows to repeat. Okay, leave it like this on the back side. Now chain 1, insert hook into the first single crochet that you have here with the contrasting color we did. Pull up a loop and slip stitch. Chain 1 into the same single crochet, work 1 single crochet. Okay, so for this first row you will single crochet into the single crochet and yarn over into the chain 1 space in between the 2 double crochets. You will work 1 entire shell, which means 3, 4, 5 double crochets. Chain 3 into the next, work the same thing, and this is all. This is what you need to do for the rest of the row. Obvious that you will finish with chain 3 and single crochet into the single crochet of the previous row. Okay, so 5, chain 5, chain 3, 5 double crochets, chain 3, skip the shell, insert hook into the chain 1 space and work another shell. I am finishing my first row of the repeating, so chain 5 double crochets, chain 3, and into the last single crochet, work 1 single crochet. Now I will take the other color, so main color, and we work first row with the main color, second row with the contrasting color and on the same side. Then we switch to the other, we turn on the other side and we work main color and contrasting color again. Okay, so contrasting color, second row of the 4, chain 1, insert hook into the single crochet here and slip stitch. Chain 1, actually chain 1, 2 and 3. Okay, yarn over. Now we have the chain 1 space here with the contrasting color of the second setup row. Into this one, around this one, sorry, we will go ahead and work 1 double crochet. Then chain 2 into the third double crochet of the shell, work 1 single crochet, chain 2. And now we work like this, around the chain 2 space of the contrasting color row, we work 1 double crochet. We work over the chain 3. Chain 1, around the next chain 2 space, we work 1 double crochet, like this. Chain 2, when we work over the shell, chain 2, single crochet into the third double crochet, chain 2. Okay, this is what we need to repeat to the end. So around the chain 2 space we go and the chain 2 space and the chain 3, and we work 1 double crochet, chain 1, around the next chain 2 space and incorporating working over the chain 3 space again, we work another double crochet. Over the shell we chain 2, single crochet into the third double crochet, chain 2. Go ahead and work like this till the end. You will finish with 1 double crochet around the chain 1 space of the contrasting color and 1 double crochet, finishing my second row with the contrasting color, 2 chain 2, and as I said before, we go around the chain 1 space at the end and the chain 3 and double crochet, and then another double crochet, the last double crochet we work it into the single crochet of the previous row worked with the main color. Second row of the repeating rows is ready. Now, as I said, we work the first and the second, and now we turn our work. Okay, we have both yarns here on the left side, and now we just turn our work. We begin with the first color, with the main color. We put the contrasting color back on the back side. Okay, so we can begin to work with our contrasting color. We chain 3 because we have the double crochet. We insert hook into the double crochet and we pull up a loop and we slip stitch. From here we chain 3, yarn over, insert hook into the same double crochet and 2 double crochets more. This is half of a shell. Then we go chain 3 into the chain 1 space of the contrasting color row. We insert hook and we work 1 completed shell, which means 3, 4, 5 double crochets. Chain 3. We skip into the chain 1 space again and work the same. So 5 double crochet into the chain 1 space and chain 3 in between. We finish with a half shell. Here it is. We finish with half shell into the third chain of the beginning chain 3 of the previous. So I finish the third row of the repeating with chain 3 and 3 double crochets into the third chain of the 2 double crochets of the beginning, actually chain 3 of the previous row, of the second row. Okay, now I will carry on the contrasting color again, and I will work my fourth row of the repeating sequence. Then it's only to repeat these 4 rows. Okay, so I will chain 3, insert hook into the third chain of the beginning chain 3 of the third row, slip stitch, chain 1 and single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, chain 1, yarn over, chain 2, double crochet around the first chain 2 space of the same row, with the same color, same contrasting color, so this one, and over the chain 3, chain 1 around the next chain 2, like this. So we just did this, we already know. Chain 2 and into the third double crochet of the 5 single crochet, chain 2, and again around the chain 2 space, work 1 double crochet, chain 1, around the next chain 2 space, 2 rows below, work double crochet, chain 2 into the previous row, work 1 single crochet into the third of the 5 double crochets, chain 2, 2 rows below with the same color, chain 2 space, work 1 double crochet around, chain 1, and again around the next chain 2, 1 double crochet, like this. Go ahead and work this, finish with chain 1 and 1 single crochet into the third double crochet, the last single crochet into the third double crochet, the last, and this was my last of the 4. And now from here, as I told you before, we begin with the main color, we go with the contrasting color in the same direction, then we turn, and now we turn and we will just repeat the same thing. So from the first row, which is this one, we will begin with single crochet, chain 1 and the first shell here. So actually we repeat 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, you repeat this for the length that you want your gilet to be, and I want to show you. You will begin with the back side. The back side must be half of the circumference that you want your gilet to be. The circumference, I recommend you to measure it around the hip. So the hip circumference is the most important. So the circumference that you need. Take the hip circumference with 2 to 4, depends on how large you want it to be, but 4 would be better. 4 centimeters for ease, and half of this work begin with your sequence, with your 6 multiple of 6, and you will put for the back side a even number of sequences. So I put 14 sequences, which means I put 14 6 chains, okay, plus of course at the end 1 chain. So 14 sequences I put, but anyway put a even number of sequences of 6 chains, because for the front side you will need half of this, which is 7 sequences in my case. So let me just show you the second important step. So the decreases. Now I went on for a total, this is my finished front side, and I went on for 35 rows the entire length, and from my and I decreased for 7 rows. Now decrease is really decreasing with this pattern stitch is really easy, because you will always work you will always begin where you want, on the side that you want to begin to decrease. You will always begin with an entire shell, so you won't begin anymore with a half, so this one disappears. Okay, so as you can see, I always began with an entire shell. On the other side I worked normally the stitch with the half and the entire, half and entire. Okay, so only on the side that you want to decrease you will begin or end, depends on where you are, with the entire shell. Now I will show you step by step the stitches, how to work them at the beginning and at the end, actually exactly where you have to decrease, because as I said, the rest is exactly the same as for the normal pattern stitch. You will begin to decrease in a entire shell row, so in a third row of the 4 rows of the sequence to repeat. Okay, so you will begin with a entire shell, actually, as you can see here. No, sorry, I think it's from the sequence to repeat is, yes, it's the third row. So normally it's the row with a half of a shell. So you will finish before the first row, decreasing row, you will finish with a entire shell row. Okay, and this would be the next row, but we won't work exactly the half. We will work here. So here we work the first shell. Okay, so we will skip from here, and now let me show you how to do this. So turn your work. So I work, actually here I work 5 rows of decreases plus 2 more just to finish the total number of rows that I need to put, because on the back side I put 35, so I need on the front side 35. Another important thing, so from my point of view, this is just a suggestion that I will give you. This is a medium size. I decrease for 5 rows. For a large to extra large, you have to decrease for 6 rows. Okay, and then you will work, I don't know, 2 or 3 rows more normally worked, as you can see here, to finish. Now, so I just normally chain 3 and single crochet into the first, on the top of the first double crochet. Okay, as we normally would, not actually normally would, because here we normally chain 3 and double crochet. So single crochet on the top of the double crochet. Now I will skip into the chain 2 space here and single crochet into it and chain 2. Now I am ready to work here, so let me show you. Here, my very first shell. From here, so this is the only, these are the steps that are actually not the same as for the normal pattern, the pattern stitch. The rest is exactly the same. So now I will chain 3 and skip into the other chain 1 space and work my shell, and I will finish with the shell here, chain 3, and on the top of the third chain 3 double crochets for the half shell. Okay, so on the other side we just work exactly the normal pattern stitch. Only on the side where you decrease you will work as I am showing you. Now this is the first row of decreases. The second row will begin on the normal side, and it is with the contrasting color, so I will just begin it without you, and then I will show you how to finish it, because here is the part where we decrease. Okay, so I finished my first row of decreases. I finished, as I said before, with a 3 double crochets as normally would be, and now I will begin here the contrasting color row. And for the contrasting color row I need to begin in a like this. So chain 1, here is the decrease, as you can see, that we did before. Chain 1, insert hook into the first single crochet, slip stitch, chain 1 and double crochet, sorry, into the second double crochet like this. Now single crochet around the first chain 2 space, yarn over, double crochet before the, like this, double crochet before the shell, the first shell that you worked. Okay, from here we will just continue on in pattern, two chains, single crochet, chain 2, and we go and work as we normally would for this row. Okay, till the end, like this. These are the first 2 rows that you will need for the decrease. So I finished my first 2 rows, one with the shells, the second with the contrasting color, and I have both yarns on this side, on the other side. Now from here we will begin both rows as normally would, so in pattern. Okay, so I will begin with this row, so I will begin to work single crochet here, then the shell, 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 and I will go ahead and work all the shells in each chain 1 space. I will stop here before the shell of the last row, so the last row of the decrease, this one. I will stop here, and then I will be back to show you how to finish this row with the decrease, and how to finish the other row, because from now for the next 2 rows we will just go ahead and bring the colors on the other side again. I am working on my last shell, so as I've told you, this is my last shell. It's exactly into the last chain 1 space here. And to finish this row, we will finish, because here is the decrease, chain 3. So here I have a shell, now I have here the shell. Okay, so it's the decrease, chain 3 and insert hook, skip this chain 2 space, insert hook into the other chain 2 space and single crochet into it. Okay, now I will work, bring back again my contrasting color 2, and I will work exactly the same. So here I will work in pattern. I will begin with the chain 3, actually chain 1, and insert hook into the single crochet, slip stitch and chain 3 plus 1 double crochet. So as you can see, I began normally, chain 2, over the shell we single crochet into the third, chain 2, and here we create the chain 1 double crochet, chain 1 spaces. Okay, I will work like this, and I will stop before my last shell, and I will be back to show you how to finish this row 2. And these are the 4 rows that we will need to repeat for the entire. Almost finished this row 2. I work, this is the last chain 1 space. So as you can see, I go as a scale, so I will just continue on like this. This is 1, 2, 3. Okay, this is the last. It's here that I will begin the other row with a new shell. So it's the last row of the 4th repeat for the decreases rows. So I chained 2, single crochet into the last shell, chain 2 again. Now I will yarn over like this. Just watch. Oops, like this. Double crochet, yarn over, into the single crochet we go, and we work a half double crochet. This is how we finish this last row of the 4 repeating. Now I will begin the new row exactly as I began. The first row of decreases exactly as I shown you, only that instead of 3 chains I will only chain 2. Then I will insert hook into the half double crochet. Oops, like this. Okay, I will insert hook into the half double crochet and slip stitch into it, and then single crochet into the next, into the double crochet that I worked like this, then single crochet into this chain 2 space, and then chain 2 exactly as I did into the very first row of the repeating sequence for the decreases. And here it is, the first space where I will work my first shell. Okay, go ahead, repeat these 4 stitches for the length that you need to, that you want to be your decrease. I will complete with 3 more, as I shown you here. I need to complete 5, and then I will show you how to continue with 2 or 3, depends on how many you will have to complete for the entire number of stitches, the entire number of rows, because as I said, on the back side I have 35, and here I must complete with the same number, so I worked 28 plus 7, 5 rows of decreases plus 2 rows normally worked, the last 2. So I finished. There are 6, sorry, I was wrong, not 5 but 6 rows of increase. These are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and here you can see them better maybe on the finished one. So this was the last one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there are 6 because we begin to decrease in a row with a half, so we actually don't work this half, and we finish in a row with the entire shell. And when we finish, this was the last row of shells, and when we finish here not with a half double crochet as usual, but with a double crochet. Okay, and now I will work one more row with half. So I will chain 3 and turn and work the entire row as it is written in the pattern. So actually, as you know, for the pattern, the normal pattern without decreases. So I begin with 3 and then chain 3 and go ahead and work my stitches, work my shells, and then I will work one more row with the contrasting color, and then I am ready to cut the yarn. Okay, so this is it. Here it is. I'm working my last row. So can you see I began with 3, I will finish here with 3 and then work the last row. I will be back. So let me tell you and show you how to work the border. As you can see on the front side, let's say sides, I already finished the border, and I also put the border on one sleeve, on one armhole. So I will explain you how I work. I work a row beginning from the bottom, a row of half double crochet all around to the other bottom, to the other side. And I will show you how to actually put the stitches here, because it's exactly the same rule that I will use here on the border of the armhole. Then I worked a row of double crochet crisscrossed. So skip one, work one double crochet, and work the other double crochet in the stitch that you skipped. This is the crisscross, so it's really easy, but it looks so very beautiful. And first of all, from where you began to decrease to where you sew the back side with the front side. When you work the first row of half double crochets on one side, on the first side, count them and put markers. As you can see, I have my markers here. Count them and put markers. Try to work not very much and not I don't know, so you have to find the balance, let's say, okay, because here it's a little bit more difficult. You just have to find the balance. Here it's, I will give you the rule how to work them, but here it's a little bit difficult. Okay, on the back side it's really easy, but on the back side just work them all, and on the other front side here in between the markers you will put exactly the same number of stitches that you put here. That's why I've told you this is, let's say, a part that you have to balance yourself. But when you just have the number of this, it must be the same number on the other side, obvious. Okay, then in the row with the crisscross double crochet, exactly on the back side, so here, exactly on your back side, you will put some decreases. So I work like this. As I've explained you, the crisscross double crochet, it is worked by skipping one stitch, working one double crochet, then we turn back and we work into the skip stitch the other double crochet, and we crisscross it. Now when you work a decrease with the crisscross stitch, we skip two stitches, not one. Into the third we work one double crochet, and then we come back into the first, which means there is a stitch in the middle that we actually skip. So that is the decreased stitch. Okay, and on the back side, so exactly from the sewing line to the other sewing line on the shoulder, no, so front and back, you will just work alternating the normal crisscross double crochet with the other one that is the decrease when you skip the middle stitch. So you skip two, not one, and into the third you work the stitch. Let me just show you. This is a normal. This must be. Here it is. Look at it. So if you just open it, you can see that I have a skipped stitch here in the middle. Okay, so this is a decrease. I skip two, work the double crochet, and then into the first I work the second, so actually, yes, the second double crochet. So in the middle I have a skip stitch, and this is the decrease. Okay, alternating like this, you will work all the back side, so you will have a nice back side. Okay, and now let's see how to work the first row, even on both borders, armhole and front sides. Yes, it's here. Now here I will begin underarm, obvious, with one half double crochet here, like this. What I did, okay. Here in the middle with one half double crochet. Here it is. And now where we have the half shell, we work around the last double crochet, two half double crochets like this. Okay, now where we have the entire one here, we will work here somewhere, I don't know where you prefer to work, we will work one half double crochet, And where we began with a chain 3 and a double crochet, around the chain 3 we work 1 and 2, and this is the rule. Okay, so around the half shell you will work 2 half double crochets like this. Now where you have the entire shell, here we have the entire shell, you will just work 1. It's here actually that I work 1 before into the contrasting color, let's say row, and then exactly this one you will skip it, and around the chain 3 or the 2 double crochets here you will work 2 more. So 2, 2 and 1. This is the algorithm that I found. It's balanced, perfectly balanced for what we need. It's 1 here in the middle and 2 around this. Okay, and this is how you will work on the front sides too. Okay, and for the sleeves, for the armholes, I just worked 2 rows, 2 rounds of half double crochets. From my point of view, it's just perfect like this, so I didn't add anything else. For the front side, I've just explained you how I worked, and that's it. This is my gilet, my diamond gilet, and I found it pretty nice. You can easily put sleeves if you want to transform it into a cardigan. You will just work, you need to work a number of stitches that fits your multiple, which is 6 without the chain, because you will work in round. Maybe it's a little bit more difficult, but anyway, if you are an advanced crocheter, I'm sure you will know how to work it. If you are not an advanced crocheter, I highly recommend you to work on the gilet. It's so very beautiful. It's perfect with so many outfits. So hope you enjoy. You have the link below of this yarn if you want to buy it from our boutique, and the quantity of yarn that you will need for each size. There are so many, so in the boutique I put so many colors combination, because this beautiful yarn can be used in so many beautiful color combinations. So I put some photos so you can choose the one you like more. See you at the next tutorial. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to share, to like the tutorial, and to share it on other social. So bye bye.